was a good one.
With Clorox, clean feels confident. Clean feels good. Use as directed on hard, non-porous surfaces.
Morning, Paula.
Morning, Ron.
Another day in Adminville, am I right?
What are you working on? Oh!
You okay?
Your tabs. You have so many open.
Yeah, gotta order lunch for the big client meeting. With great responsibility comes tabs.
I can help. Close all those tabs and open just one, easycater.com. Online ordering from local restaurants, plus tools to save time, stay on budget, track expenses.
One tab to rule them all.
EasyCater, the smarter way to order food for work. Order now at easycater.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultrafine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The cleats have hit the field. Kickoff is here. Game day's arrived and Specs brings the cheers. Ice cold beers, team lifting spirits, cocktails in a can. Score 'em all and hear your fellow football fans chant, "You the man." And with Specs' largest selection and lowest prices, you can make every game day feel just as nice. Before the players start running their routes and schemes, run a route to Specs for your game day needs. Specs, cheers to savings.
Bigger than ever. The Factory Mattress Year-End Clearance Sales Event. Save an additional 20% off factory direct prices on select mattresses. Plus, save over $700 on Queen luxury pillow tops. Now only $588. Act now. Buy one, get one free mattresses. The Factory Mattress Year-End Clearance Event. Save up to $500 off Tempur-Pedic adjustable sets. It's the Year-End Clearance Event. Going on now at Factory Mattress.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like 80s Rock Ride. 80s Rock Ride features Van Halen, Aerosmith, Billy Idol, Def Leppard, and more to jam out in the car. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search 80s Rock Ride, and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KVET AM Austin, AM 1300, The Zone. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports, podcasts, and music.
Good morning, Kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Harge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Good morning, Austin, K-Town, Pflugerville, H-Town, Pearland, Bastrop, and Silsbee, Texas, or wherever you may be listening. This is a Longhorns Monday edition of the Morning Kickoff right here on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone. Texas falls in the Cotton Bowl semifinals. What is next for the Texas Longhorns? Texas men and women come up short in huge matchups. The Texans shut up the haters. The Ravens look Super Bowl ready. Philly and Buffalo do their thing. And man, oh man, those Washington Commanders come to play. And of course, you normally would have the world's strongest take, but our man Mark Henry is under the weather. He's not used to hanging out that late, especially during football season, but he should be back and ready to go tomorrow. I'm your host, Mike Hardball Harge. Normally, we would have the WWE Hall of Famer and world's strongest man, Mark Henry, but he is feeling a little ill. But, of course, we've got our guy Khalil behind the boards, and he's ready to do his thing. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. And if you want to voice your opinion, all you got to do is leave us a message at the talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. We will receive your message instantly. And if it's good enough, you might even hear it on the air. All right, let's get into it. Not a good look, not exciting, not a way that Texas wanted to end the regular season. But let's just put it like this. Texas had their opportunities. Texas had some moments where it was a chance to win the ball game, and they came up a little bit short. Texas ends up losing the game 28-14, but the game was a lot closer than that. Yes, Ohio State looked like the better football team. They came out ready to go. They did everything that they needed to do, but Texas somehow, some way, behind that great defense that, by the way, Jahdae Barron locked up his guy, and he was very frustrated the entire time. But you look at what happened, and you look at how this team played. They had an opportunity, and they were knocking on the door to tie the game or to score and possibly either go for two or tie the game up and have an opportunity to play in the national championship game. But there were some questionable play calls that was on the goal line that a lot of folks are continuing to talk about. And then you have the unthinkable happen where fourth down gets us excited, but this time it did not have the best play of the night. So Coach Sark was asked about those plays on the goal line and what he thought about them.
The first two plays, we threw the ball into the end zone. We got back-to-back PIs. And when we got down to the one, we went to a heavy package, which is Jarek's package. And so we ran it, and we obviously didn't get much movement at all. And we had a plan to try to get the ball on the edge when we got down there. They went to big people. I can't quite tell. It was on the far side of where it got leaky. But that, it's one of those plays. If you block it all right, you get in the end zone, and we didn't, and we lose, quite a bit of yardage. And at that point, you're kind of stuck behind the eight ball because we knew we were 4-down territory because of the score of the game. And I was okay even if we didn't score, not that I didn't want to score, but thinking, all right, they're going to have to be backed up, and we'll probably get one more possession with good field position. The last thing you think is that, the sack, and this is going to bounce right to the guy who's going to run for a touchdown. So it's unfortunate that was the circumstances, because it was a really nice drive by the offense to get all the way down there. And first to goal on the one, and we don't score, quite frankly, you probably don't deserve to win that way.
And that was one of those situations where we're all sitting there looking and trying to figure out what happened, what ended up happening in front of 74,000 fans on Friday Night Lights. It was very disappointing. But like I said, Texas struggled in the first quarter. They figured it out in the second. And then you have a screenplay after you score that would have gone into halftime 7-7, but just with 13 seconds left, Henderson gets a 75-yard touchdown on a screenplay that I'm still trying to figure out how. How did that happen? And you could say, oh, well, it's just part of – No. It is not supposed to happen that way. You get a stop there. You go into halftime. You regroup. Everybody's tied up 7-7, and then we play it out in the second half. Everybody keeps talking about that play where Jack Sawyer got the 83-yard fumble return after hitting Quinn Ewers on that goal line. But the play before halftime was the one that is sticking with me. This is a defense that has played well all season long, and they don't have to look at that, right? They don't have to deal with those types of situations. You cannot let a 75-yard screen pass take you all the way down the field into halftime with 13 seconds left. It just can't happen. And that, to me, was the play of the game, not the Jack Sawyer strip sack fumble recovery and take it to the house. That's not it. And by the way, Jack Sawyer used to be Quinn's roommate. How about that, man? You start thinking about Quinn. Oh, God. Every time I think about that, I'm just like, oh, my God, here we go. But it's just the little things that every time you see them, they add up. The little things on those particular moments. We said it going into the game. I firmly thought Texas had an opportunity to win this ball game from start to finish because the defense kept them in it. The offense could have struggled, and they did at times. They did at times. Texas only ran for 58 yards total and 2 yards per carry again against a defense. But Quinn Ewers was decent. He wasn't bad. He wasn't great, but he wasn't bad. And he spread the ball all the way around and got the ball to different people. But I saw a stat in the books, and this is who they are. This is kind of what Texas has always been. I saw a stat that said that Quinn threw the ball behind the line of scrimmage 13 times. He was 10 of 13 for 78 yards. And people are like, what? I'm like, yes, because of the fact that they like to throw the ball, dink and dunk. I'm sure that's what everybody wants to call it. But you start to look at, I went and looked at what Ohio State did. He was 6 of 7 behind the line of scrimmage for 100 yards. But he had that touchdown on that 75-yard touchdown. Texas had Will Howard under control. Where Ohio State was really good was in the middle of the field. They were really good in the middle of the field. And they were 8 of 11 for 96 yards, for 86 yards up the middle of the field. It's just little things. And I'm sure that coaches are sitting in there looking at the ball game. I'm sure that the players went back and watched it. It was an emotional game. But again, you start to look at it and you're like, golly. And so Kelvin Banks even talked about the play on 2nd and 1 and what happened next.
Yeah, I was pulling. I seen the boundary safety come down, number 8, and I thought it was gonna be a big hole behind me because that's kind of how the play. That's kind of how the play designed to go. I'm supposed to kick him out. Trey hits the hole behind me, and then while I'm kicking him out, I hear screaming yell. So I turn to my left, and then Downs is making the play. So that's kind of just what I seen from it, and just that was it.
So yeah, there was just so many little plays that could have been avoided, could have been made. There were so many opportunities that were missed. Texas still couldn't get connected on the deep ball. I thought coming out, they looked good. They were crisp. They were moving the ball, got down close, and then came up short, got pushed back. And guess what? More false starts, more illegal procedures, things that you would think would be cleaned up by the end of the season that ended up costing you an opportunity to play for a national championship. You got to make sure that those things get cleaned up this offseason. You have to make sure that the discipline on the O-line, you can't have those penalties, the pre-snap penalties, as we called it, hurting you every single time. We're just getting started here on a Longhorn Monday. When we come back, we'll hear more from the Texas Longhorns. We'll hear from a few players. And, of course, we'll continue the conversations going right here on a Longhorn Monday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
It's the Craig Way Show.
If Jerry Jones does care as much about his fans as he says, try to make some moves that might at least appeal to them a little more than a lot of the moves you made. In other words, like a real personnel person, a real general manager. Make Will McClay the real general manager.
Voice of the Texas Longhorns and Hall of Fame broadcaster. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeart Radio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
We do have that accident reported still remaining, 935 Frontage Road, southbound at East Runberg Lane. We also have a 5-minute delay, 35 northbound from Slaughter Lane down to Stastny, and a 2-minute delay, 290 westbound from Old Kimbrough to 130. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The new $7 Lux Cravings Box from Taco Bell with 3 indulgent full-size classics, chips, nacho cheese sauce, and a drink for just $7 at participating stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks exclude freezes. Tax extra.
Hardball here, and you've heard me talk about DraftKings Pick 6, and now that the football playoffs are here, you're going to hear me a lot more. But tune in each Friday to see which Pick 6 players I chose, and I'll go over the things that you need to know. But then tune in on Monday to find out how my Pick 6 performers did. DraftKings Pick 6 is available in Texas, and if you haven't checked it out, check this out. New Pick 6 customers, you can play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits, but you got to use that promo code SPOTLIGHT. Win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app. Use the promo code SPOTLIGHT. That's promo code SPOTLIGHT for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer, bonus award with non-withdrawable Pick 6 credit that expire in 30 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. How can I help you?
My schedule is crazy. I just want some me time.
We could all use a sanctuary from stress. Why not turn your bedroom into the place to decompress with our selection of comfortable beds, pillows, decor, mood lighting, and so much more? Every time you step in there, it's nothing but me time. I mean, you time.
Sounds like a dream.
Here to make your me time dreams come true. Visit us in-store or at IKEA-USA.com/sleep to create a comfy, blissful bedroom today.
In today's Marketers Report, Kate Cronin, Chief Brand Officer of Moderna, weighs in on the speed of audio production.
In this day and age, and particularly at Moderna, where we have new information coming out on a regular basis, being able to feed that information to the audio format makes being nimble and pivoting easy, and that's what I really like about it.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartResults.com.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with your busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's that simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right. You don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move right in right away. And no more rushing out for showings and constant cleaning, because Orchard sells your old home while you're moving into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. The local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money, so you can sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com. That is orchard.com.
I
love it. Join the millions already on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
It's so easy to use.
The live radio dial, presets, scan, plus lyrics, podcasts, and your favorite artists' radio.
Type it in, and there it is.
Now it's even easier to discover what you love.
I love my presets. Adding presets is so much fun.
This looks really nice.
Just in time for the new year, the new and improved iHeartRadio app. It's everything you love about your car radio in the palm of your hand.
Very cool update. 5 stars, guys.
The Craig Way Show with the voice of the Longhorns, Craig Way. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Coming up in the next segment, we're going to talk a little bit about the Texas players that have decided to throw their name into the draft. Now, when I say they throw their name in the draft, obviously it does not mean that they are all the way into the draft. They can talk to agents and talk to the NFL and kind of see where their names are and where their projections are, and they can come back. They can come back. Let's not forget that. But I think it's a good thing that they threw their name out there. There's a lot of players that see opportunities, and if they find out that they're in the right spot, that will be perfect. That would be perfect. But I want to get back into this conversation about this game, and now that Ohio State will face Notre Dame in the national championship game, the Texas season has come to an end. And I'm going to post a question here in just a little bit about the University of Texas, and basically the question is going to be, obviously, you wanted to win a national championship. I know that. But how would you consider this season? Success, failure, or as expected? Those are going to be the questions. You know, I just look at it in a certain type of light, and I think that this season was a success. Yes, it came up short. It sucks to lose when you know you're right there knocking on the door of that possibility. But we learned a lot about this football team throughout the year. And Coach Sark talked about it a little bit and saying about the life lessons that you learn from it and what you can take from this.
Terry Middleton, Horns Illustrated. Coach, you talked these two gentlemen, the game of football, the whole entire team to be better football players. You also taught them about the game of life, and they'll win. How do you feel right now, and how proud are you of what you've accomplished?
I'm very proud. I told these guys in the locker room, they need to hold their heads high. There's nothing to be ashamed of for what they did this season. The work that they put in, the challenges that we were faced with. Everybody's got their own unique challenges. We had ours, but never did anyone complain. We never got the poor me's. They just worked, and they came back to work. And as a coach, you know, that makes you proud. But what I do know is I think that every player that leaves our program is a better man. And for these two guys right here, from when Jade was here, when I got here, Quinn coming in and trusting us, that permeates throughout our locker room. When you have trust from your leaders, then you get trust from the other players in that locker room. So we've got a great deal of pride. We got a great deal of pride in this helmet. We got a great deal of pride in being Longhorns and playing the game of football the right way. I think we do that. I think we win with class, and I think we lost with class tonight. And I think that that's something that you learn in life. Life's not always going to go your way, but if you can do it the right way, and then you show some resolve and some resiliency, and you be a man about it, and you be accountable for your actions, you can get on the other side of that adversity and keep going forward. And that's what these two guys will do, and that's what the other 120 guys in that locker room will do.
And I couldn't agree with that more. I mean, you can see the maturity of a lot of guys throughout this year. You can hear it in their voices. You can tell when they speak highly of what the success that they had. And it is something that you continue to try to understand. But there's also that heartache. And how do you rebound from that heartache? And Quinn talked about it being one play away once again.
Yeah, it's tough. I think Coach Sark hit it. It's the life of a competitor, and it sucks being on this side of things for sure. I mean, back-to-back years, pretty much the game decided in one play. And It's hard. It's hard. All the work that we put in, being in the Final Four back-to-back years and coming up short 2 years, it's tough. But I think that's how life is. You're going to get punched in the face and in some hard moments.
Definitely going to be some hard moments. And then the fact of the matter is, when you go back and you look at the videos and you watch the game and you see certain things that were missed, and the game is of inches at this particular point. When you're in the Final Four, there's only two. I mean, these are the best of the best at this point. And regardless if you believe that or not, it definitely is that. In those moments, you can't get back. Great athletes always talk about the missed opportunities instead of all the successes that they've had. There are times where you sit there, and I'll be quite honest with you. It still bothers me that we lost the championship when I was in rookie ball. Rookie ball. I was drafted in 1990. That was a long time ago, folks. But I still remember the 3 errors that I made in the ball game for my team to lose a ring to the Dodgers organization. That still bothers me. Those are the moments. That's why Quinn said it, 2 years in a row, being one play away for an opportunity to possibly play for a national championship. That's going to stick with them for quite some time. And rightfully so. But you live and learn, and you try to figure things out, and you see what's next. But this is the most gut-wrenching post-game conversation. And this was with Mookie, Michael Taft, and what it meant to him as a player for the University of Texas.
And just for this book of the chapter to close for this team, as far as we can't play another game together, that hurt. Emotionally, that hurt. Just to not be able to play with those guys ever again, wearing the burnt orange. And, we talked about it, this team's not over. We're going to stay together. We're going to communicate. We're always going to have each other's backs, but the season's over, and that hurt. Wearing this burnt orange means something to me. It holds a lot of pride in my life. I'm a 5th generation Longhorn. I grew up wanting to be in this stage every moment of my life. And to know that we left it out there, everything that we had, and it was cut short. That was emotional for me, and just got so much love for these guys, and came in here a walk-on, and now I'm an All-American, but I don't care about that. I care about the love of my teammates. That's truly all I care about. Those are cool accolades, but hearing that a teammate loves me is so much cooler, and it's so much just fulfilling in your heart as a teammate, as a leader, as a guy on a team. I tell everybody football is the best sport in America. It's the best sport to ever be created, because you get faced with real life adversity, real life challenges in your life. How can a guy like Hayden Conner and a guy like Michael Taft, 2 different backgrounds, 2 different body styles, 2 different positions, be on the same team and have the same love for one another? That doesn't happen unless you're playing the game of football. So, man, this burnt orange is so special. This team is so special, and we gave it all we got.
That one was tough for me, just because of the simple fact that he is what it is all about. What he is, what he stands for when it comes to this university, why he plays the way that he plays. 5th generation Longhorn? What? Had no idea of that. But that's a guy that brings it every single day. And another guy that brought it every single day, and he was one of the best players in this university, Thorpe Award winner. He talked about what it means to win and how the blessings of how his life has changed by being at the University of Texas.
A truly outstanding season. I'm very proud of you. Thank you for coming.
All right, y'all. Thank you. Hook 'em.
I just want to say one thing. I mean, it's been amazing, just the opportunity. But at the end of the day, like, I just want everybody to know, like, usually sometimes you always don't come out on top. But like we won. We truly know who our leader is, and that's God and Jesus Christ. And ultimately, just having the ability to use the gift that He gave us to share it to the world. I mean, it's been amazing, and obviously amazing for me just growing up in Austin and then having the opportunity. But everybody's not blessed to do things we do, to be here. People dealing with fires and chaos in New Orleans. So just to have the opportunity to glorify God on the football field, it's truly been an honor. So I appreciate everybody.
These young men have grown up to be men. And it's been a blessing to watch these guys play. And the foundation is set, folks. But there are some other ones that are going to be making some moves, and we'll talk about it when we come back. Who from the Texas Longhorns has entered their name into the draft? Right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeart Radio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
Well, we have that accident reported on 35 Frontage Road, southbound at East Runberg Lane. Also, another accident, 35 southbound at Robert S. Light Boulevard. And then we have a wreck, 71 westbound at 183. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, Texas, I want to talk about the wonderful folks over at Covert Chevy and Hutto. At Covert Chevy and Hutto, they have the specials you are looking for. How about a 2024 Silverado 1500 for $15,000 off of MSRP, or a 2024 Chevy Tahoe for $8,000 off of MSRP with no payments for 120 days. See dealer for details. The Coverts have been doing business since 1909, and they love being a part of the communities that they serve. Head on over to CovertChevyHutto.com or swing by 1200 US 79 in Hutto, Texas. Covert Chevy and Hutto, where tradition meets the open road. Together, let's drive.
Introducing Love Austin. Professional volleyball like you have never seen it before. You saw them in silver in Paris this summer. Now you can see them playing for the first time on American soil. Love Austin Volleyball will feature some of the best players in the world, including two-time Olympic medalist Chiaka Abagu. Get ready for first serve on January 15th at the HEB Center. Visit LOVB.com for tickets. Volleyball is the next major league.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. So whatever your customers listen to, they'll hear your message. Plus, only iHeart can extend your message to audiences across broadcast radio. Think podcasting can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, radio, and podcasting. Call 844-844-iHeart to get started. That's 844-844-iHeart.
It's Mattress Firm's semi-annual sale and clearance. Save up to 60% on a wide selection of quality mattresses at every price. Plus, score a free adjustable base with a qualifying purchase. Hurry and stop by Mattress Firm today.
Hi, I'm Yvonne Nava with KView. Want to stay updated on the local stories that matter to you? Download KView Plus and get breaking news, weather updates, and newscasts on demand. Free on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Start streaming today.
88 unread emails? Okay. New credit card? Delete. Congratulations, you've just won goodbye. COVID-19 news and delete. Wait, learn about treatment options for COVID-19. Know and go. Okay, kind of catchy. Know that oral prescription treatment options are available for COVID-19 if you're at high risk. And go see your doctor if you experience symptoms or test positive. And forwarding that to mom.
Talk to your pharmacist or doctor if you or a loved one gets COVID-19. Know and go. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you shopping for a new car? You want to trade in the car that you have? You're just a little tired of it. Maybe it doesn't fit your needs anymore. Well, you can trade that car in and get into a brand new under warranty car from Apple Leasing. And they'll get you any make and any model that you want with one phone call. You heard that right. No matter what you want, they'll get it for you at Apple Leasing. Call them at 346-9977 or go to appleleasing.com and start your shopping there. It's literally as easy as one phone call. Maybe there's a couple, 3 different cars. You're not exactly sure which one you want yet. Tell Apple Leasing which ones they are. They'll set up a test drive. Next thing you know, you're in a brand new under warranty vehicle from Apple Leasing. Call them today, 346-9977. That's 346-9977. Or go to their website. It's appleleasing.com. Appleleasing.com.
NBA action returns to LA tonight. Spurs visit the Lakers. Texans and Chiefs meet in the AFC divisional round Saturday in KC. The Bills blew out the Broncos, will host the Ravens Sunday night. In the NFC, Commanders clipped the Bucks for their first playoff win since 2006. They'll visit the Lions Saturday night. Eagles beat the Packers, now await the winner of tonight's matchup between the Vikings and Rams. I'm Ron DeMoss.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store and everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $175 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends 2/1. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to recap what we saw from the men's and women's basketball team as they had tough tests. Texas men took on Tennessee, and Texas women took on Dawn Staley's South Carolina Gamecocks. What a matchup. But I want to get into this conversation about the potential NFL players on the University of Texas. You remember for a while, there wasn't a lot of movement when it came to the Texas football team. There wasn't a lot of conversation over the past few years until Coach Sark and his crew came in and started developing these guys to where they are now looked at as some players that could definitely take over the NFL, get a chance to play. You saw it last night. There were a ton of Texas Longhorns playing all over the NFL yesterday in the playoffs. All you call it is a win-win situation, and that is the way those things kind of happen. So when you start to break it down, you start to understand this is what it's all about. So there were some names that ended up being thrown around yesterday in the latest version of potential players to get into the NFL draft. Hayden Conner threw his name in there, offensive lineman Hayden Conner decided to throw his name into the NFL draft, and we will see what happens with him. They're all out of eligibility, and Jake Majors is as well. Then you start to look at Kelvin Banks, put his name in there as well. So we will see. We'll also see that Jaden Blue has decided to put his name in the hat. As I said in the last segment, that does not mean that all of these guys will stay in the NFL draft. You want to put your name out there, go through the processes of seeing where your projected round will be. If you look at a Jaden Blue, I mean, he is an electric player. And when I say electric, I'm talking about he can pick it up and put it down. You saw him score 2 touchdowns out of the backfield, running the wheel route and being effective that way. But you also get a chance to see some of the things that he went through when he was not controlling the football. But that can be fixed. That's going to take some time. And the dude has worked his behind off. He's been patient. He's waited his time. And when he got his time, he made the most of it. Now, him going into the draft, entering the draft, you still have Trey Wisner in the running back room, C.J. Baxter, Christian Clark, and Jarrett Gibson. You also have the 2 incoming freshmen that will be that are here now because move-in happened, and I saw that as well. Another name that has not been announced as of yet is Quinn Ewers. Now, we've had this conversation about Quinn Ewers and the expectations of the fan base, and we'll talk about that. Mark's not here, but we're going to do the hard the Hard Knocks Life, but it's going to be the World's Strongest Take by Mark Henry. But I'm going to do it in his segment, and it's going to be over Quinn Ewers, so make sure you tune in to that. But I still look at it, and I say, what has happened in college sports, not only with the transfer portal, but also these kids getting an opportunity to go into the NFL. The NFL is a place where you're going to get a chance, but you never know what's going to happen after that. You never know what is going to happen with this draft. How does this happen? Where is it? Who's going to be the right spot for it? We've seen through the NFL playoffs, and I'll talk about it in the top of the next hour, about what has been going on in the NFL. You remember for a while, people kept telling us the running backs are no more. There's no more running backs. It's not important for the running backs. They're not what they used to be. Look at who won games this weekend. Quarterback and running backs. If you have two of those, you have a quarterback and a good running back, you're going to have that opportunity to do some things. And that's exactly what happened. So to me, I start looking at this Texas football team and everything that has happened and that has changed here recently has now created opportunities for these Texas football players to get to that next level. I believe that all those guys will be drafted. I believe that even David Benda and some of these other guys that are on the fence are going to have an opportunity to play at the next level. I think Jake Majors will be a guy that is in the game as well. And you start looking to see what positions are they going to be. Are they going to be first-round picks, second-round picks, third-round picks? The evaluation period and your opportunities get greater when you play longer in the season. You start to look at what's happening with these teams. Texas is back-to-back semifinalist, had 11 guys drafted. You still don't know what's going to happen with Matthew Golden. Is he going to enter the draft? If I tell you right now, if Anthony Hill and Colin Simmons would enter the draft right now, they'd be first-round picks. If you look at what Michael Taft, a guy that we just heard from that gave everything to this university, everything, fifth generation Texas Longhorn. He's a guy that's going to get an opportunity to play in the NFL strictly because he's got that dog in him. We already know what Jade is going to be. Andrew Makuba is another kid that's going to have an opportunity to play at the next level. So you start to look at this Texas football team and the foundation. We talked about this last week. Jake Majors even brought it up. David Benda. I'll let you hear from David Benda. He talked about the foundation and what has been laid here. Texas football isn't going away, guys. Texas football is going to be in this conversation year in and year out, and that is why you have to believe that what is happening on the 40 acres, a Barron Sorrell as well. And if you can get that opportunity for some of these guys, you'll truly understand that the University of Texas has positioned themselves well, because the journey for each of these players are totally different. But now you understand what the journey is about. Here's David Benda on the journey.
I'd say obviously we fell short, but it was phenomenal from the amount of work we put in and all that it took to get to this point. Because you got to think about it. This same time last year, we had this goal in mind to come right back here and get the Arbor. Obviously, we fell short, but there's a plan that's been set forth that we've been following to get us to the point. Obviously, there needs to be a little bit tweaking to help improve, but like you said, we've had back-to-back teams with a lot of people leaving to go to the next level. There's a lot of question marks. We answered those question marks, and I have all the faith in Sark and all the faith in this team next year. The standard's been set, and they're going to continue to build on the standard. So I'm not worried about anything. This journey's been phenomenal.
You know what I'm talking about? That's what it is. That's what it is. And if everybody can fall into place and continue to figure it out. This Texas program will be one of the best for years to come. When we come back, we'll continue the conversations. Texas men and women's basketball, rough one, but we'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m.
One time when Bill Schoening and I were doing a Tuesday night game, and there was an umpire behind the plate, Tom Jenkins. And Tom was a rather corpulent fellow, and he lets a pitch go in there. And you hear this pop again. He goes, ball two. And crystal clear that our field mic picked up was some fan yelling, Jenkins, you fat.
Only on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeart Radio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
Well, we have that accident reported on 35 Frontage Road, southbound at East Runberg Lane. Also, another accident, 35 southbound at Robert S. Light Boulevard. And then we have a wreck, 71 westbound at 183. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Tap into your well-being with Audible audiobooks, podcasts, and originals. Expand your life with expert insight and motivation for better health, habits, relationships, finance, and more. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, Hims can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
The comfort of your favorite seat is now also your comfy car-selling throne thanks to Carvana.
That's nice.
Just enter your license plate or VIN and get a real offer in seconds.
There's no place like home.
Visit Carvana to sell your car from your comfy place.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready with your busy life? Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling your old one. It's that simple. Orchard gives you an equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right. You don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move right in right away. And no more rushing out for showings and constant cleaning because Orchard sells your old home while you're moving into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. The local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money so you can sell for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at orchard.com. That is orchard.com.
I love my presets.
This is the best app for radio. Look at how cool this looks.
It's everything you love about your car radio in the palm of your hand.
Wow. It's got my favorite thing.
Lyrics.
Find out what everyone is talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Want to win 2,000 times your money simply by watching football? With Better Picks, every play will have you on the edge of your seat as game day just got 2,000 times more exciting. That's right, Better Picks has the highest multipliers in all of daily fantasy, letting you turn $1 into $2,000, $10 into $20,000, all the way up to $100,000 payouts. That's higher than all those other Pick'em fantasy apps.
And it's super simple to use. Just pick a few players, choose more or less on their stats, and follow along live.
Why would you use any other daily fantasy app when you can win 2,000 times your money only on Better Picks? Go to betterpicks.com, BETRpicks.com, or download Better on the app or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to experience the thrill of playing for up to 2,000 times your cash. Plus, new users get up to a $200 match on their first deposit. It's simply better with Better Picks.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KBET AM Austin, AM 1300, The Zone. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports, podcasts, and music.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like 70s Rock Ride,
Dream on, teenage wasteland.
Pink Floyd, Eagles, Van Halen, Tom Petty, Zeppelin, and more.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. Sweet home Alabama.
Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search 70s Rock Ride, and listen now. Free never sounded so good.
It's the Craig Way Show with Craig Way and Cameron Parker. Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Man, every time I hear this song, this would be my game day song every single week when we were getting ready for the game, Texas football game. Now I got to figure out something else. Got to get a different song because now it is time to transition to the basketball part of the season. And whew, the Texas women came up short yesterday against South Carolina in a big-time top 10 matchup between two teams that are really about that life. But you start looking at the standard of college basketball, and South Carolina has been it on the women's side here lately over the last, 10 years. First-round picks, draft picks between them and UConn and Stanford. Those are the three schools, but Texas is right there. Texas is a part of that conversation. But I will tell you this, yesterday, the reason why Texas was not very good, they missed a lot of point-blank shots yesterday. And the fact that Madison Booker started the game off 1 of 14 in the first half, Texas just couldn't get it going. Texas shot 22% in the first half. It was not a good look. And South Carolina shot 71% in the first half. Those were the biggest difference. The other part of it is, if Texas is going to be successful, they're going to have to find people that can knock down the three. They're not very good at three-point land right now. 1 of 5. They only took 5 shots. South Carolina took 7. But the biggest thing was for me was the second chance points that they got. It was an opportunity for Texas in this matchup. They had good looks. I watched the entire game. Madison Booker was missing her normal mid-range shot. She was missing some layups. And she was just looking like, I can't believe none of these shots are going down. They didn't miss theirs. Texas did miss theirs. In the first half, as I said, Texas shot 22%. You can't win a basketball game like that, especially with the fact that you don't have that one player that can shoot threes consistently. I watched this game. I watched this team. Kyla Olaacre, she's good. 16 boards, 11 rebounds. But you got to get Madison going. Rory Harmon, she missed a couple layups as well. It's just one of those games you chalk it up. Hey, they move on. They get another opportunity to play again, and you just chalk that one up to South Carolina being South Carolina. You're going to get a chance to play them at home coming up, so we'll see what happens there. The Texas men, they came up short against Tennessee, and I will say this. After that performance against Auburn, where they learned to fight back and only lost that game by 5, they figured it out, and they came close to beating Tennessee, who was ranked number 1 still at that time, but they came up short, 74-70. Trey Johnson, he was shooting lights out. He was making some tough, contested shots. He was 11 of 17, 4 of 8 from 3, had 26 points. The person that I was hopeful would be able to make impact was Arthur Kaluma after coming off of that 34-point performance. He wasn't as effective in that game. finished with 4 points, had 6 boards. Caden Shedrick, he's been off on the offensive end of the plays, but he got 7 offensive boards, but he hadn't been scoring points. So you got to try to find that mix. Who is going to be the other guy to step up and get some points, some scoring? Jordan Pope, had 17 points. Tremont Mark, he ended up getting hurt, but he came back in, thank goodness, because it did not look good. But he came back in and played well. It's just one of those situations that you continue to watch this Texas basketball team. And yes, we can talk about the fight, but you got to be able to finish. They fall to 0-3 in in SEC conference play, and Tennessee moves to 2-1. Another big matchup this week for the Texas basketball team as they are about to hit the road and go to Oklahoma this Wednesday. 9 o'clock tip-off, folks. What? That cannot be right. A 9 p.m. tip-off, and then they continue the road trip as they head to Florida as well, where the women will continue their matchups and get everything going again this week. I know Coach Vic Schaefer is ready to get back to it. I know he wasn't very happy with that performance during that matchup, but they will take on Auburn in Auburn on the 16th. They're off until Thursday, and then they play Monday in the Coretta Scott King Classic in Maryland. That game in New Jersey, Newark, New Jersey. That game will take place on Monday at 4:30. You can watch that one on Fox, followed by Tennessee on Thursday, the 23rd. That will be at the Mood, and then back on the road on the 26th at Oxford, Mississippi. Texas basketball, it is full swing now, guys. This is the time for you to start paying attention to it a little bit more and really understanding. Now that the football season is over, Texas will have all eyes on them. As I said, they take on Norman. They go to Norman, Oklahoma on the 15th to take on OU. Then on the Saturday, the 18th, they are taking on the Florida Gators, who I believe at this particular point is ranked number 8. No rest for the weary as this continues to make things happen. When we come back, hour number 2, we're going to have conversations about the NFL. There is a lot to get into. A lot of teams have made that move. And my question to a lot of you, there's a lot of hype around some of these quarterbacks in the NFL. And every single person has a different opinion about a certain style of quarterback, a guy that everybody wants to consider the golden boy. But now do we start putting 2 of these quarterbacks in a category that I'm not very fond of? And the reason why I'm not fond of it is because that means that you're talking about my quarterback, Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott, although he gets beat up on quite a bit, there's a couple quarterbacks that we need to start talking about. And another situation that we might need to touch on too, will there be a coaching swap? Think about that. And what would you do if you were a Cowboy fan? Would you like this swap? Hour number 1 is in the books. Hour number 2 is just around the corner, right here on a Longhorn Monday edition of the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
There's no better place to buy your new Chevy than Henna Chevrolet. Right now, we have the biggest discounts in the last 5 years. Plus, 0 for 60 months is available on a large selection of vehicles. As an Austin original since 1936, Henna Chevrolet has been treating customers right and saving them some serious money. For straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, together let's drive at Henna Chevrolet or Henna.com.
Henna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
Using a Clorox disinfecting wipe on your coffee table this cold and flu season feels like It feels like being bold enough to laugh your weird laugh in front of everyone.
That was a good one.
With Clorox, clean feels confident. Clean feels good. Use as directed on hard, non-porous surfaces.
When it comes to getting a new car, there's a lot of options. You could spend days driving all over Central Texas, test driving different cars, different makes, different models, but you don't have to. You can take care of it all with one phone call when you lease your car from Apple Leasing. The number to call, 512-346-9977. That's 346-9977, or go to appleleasing.com. You can trade in the car that you're in right now and get into something brand new that's still under warranty, so you don't have any surprise repair bills. There's a lot of comfort in that, and they'll get you any make or any model that you want. You don't have to drive all over the place anymore to test drive cars. They'll set it up all for you at Apple Leasing. Call them today at 346-9977. Again, that's 346-9977, or go to appleleasing.com.
If you've been thinking about home security, now's the time to join the millions of Americans who trust Simply Safe. Simply Safe helps stop break-ins. Their Active Guard outdoor protection uses AI-powered cameras and live monitoring agents to keep watch over your property 24/7. Visit simplysafedan.com. You will get 50% off a new system with a professional monitoring plan, and your first month is free. Get started. simplysafedan.com. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Stay connected during the big games this season with family and friends with Rapid Radio's walkie-talkies. Rapid Radio's instant push-to-talk devices with nationwide coverage, 100% private, great communication device for everyone. No subscriptions ever. Just visit rapidradios.com. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com, get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping, and a free protection bag. Also, if you add the code radio, an extra 5% off. Take advantage of this. RapidRadios.com.
Hey, Texas, I want to talk about the wonderful folks over at Covert Chevy in Hutto. At Covert Chevy in Hutto, they have the specials you are looking for. How about a 2024 Silverado 1500 for $15,000 off of MSRP, or a 2024 Chevy Tahoe for $8,000 off of MSRP with no payments for 120 days. See dealer for details. The Coverts have been doing business since 1909, and they love being a part of the communities that they serve. Head on over to CovertChevyHutto.com or swing by 1200 US 79 in Hutto, Texas. Covert Chevy in Hutto, where tradition meets the open road. Together, let's drive.
Bigger than ever, the factory mattress year-end clearance is back. Act now. Buy one and get one free mattresses, plus free adjustable power bases with select mattresses. Factory Mattress ensures the best price and guarantees it. 0% financing for 6 years with any Tempur-Pedic or Stearns & Foster set. It's the year-end clearance event going on now at Factory Mattress.
My factory mattress.
From the Audiovisual Consultation Studio, this is KVET AM Austin, AM 1300 The Zone. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app for all your sports, podcasts, and music.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Harge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns, 1300 The Zone.
Unfortunately, our man Mark Henry is not feeling well today, but he should be back and ready to go. If everything goes well, he should be back with us tomorrow. But I wanted to get into the conversation. Number one, we talked in the first hour a lot about the University of Texas, the football game. They come up short 28-14 against Ohio State. Ohio State will now be playing against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish as they defeated Penn State on Thursday. But now they have a huge matchup against Ohio State. Shout out to Ohio State. Outstanding job, played well. Texas had some opportunities to win that ball game. It is what it is. And now Texas is now looking to the offseason. New students have now been on campus now. They enrolled and got to check in this past weekend. So it is one of those things that you continue to try to say that the foundation at the University of Texas has been set, and you will see this happening more times than not. Very, very talented football team. There's going to be some things that will be discussed the entire time, short yardage, red zone, all those types of offensive plays. What can Texas do to get better? I'm sure Sark is self-evaluating as well. What can Texas do while in the red zone, short yardage, to where those moments right there, if they present themselves again, you will have a different result. You have to, because Texas should be able to run the ball on the goal line. It's mano a mano, get lower than the guy in front of you and punch that thing in. So we will see. But I want to get into the NFL because the Texans defeated the Chargers in very impressive fashion, 32-12. CJ Stroud was hitting on all cylinders, all types of throws, from short, intermediate to the deep ball, over the middle, outside. There were some questionable throws, but he played well. The Texans defense, they kind of shut up the great hype, which is Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert, it was very confused during this game. He was having turnover after turnover. He threw 4 interceptions in the ball game. And the Texans answered a bunch of questions that a lot of folks have. When you can step up, CJ stepped up and threw for 282 yards. Joe Mixon ran for over 100 yards with 106 yards. Nico Collins, who's a 1,000-yard wide receiver, had 122 yards receiving and a touchdown. But Derek Stingley having those 2 picks, and he locked down whoever was in front of him, and the Texans secondary balled out. Now the Texans will take on the Chiefs this weekend, and we'll continue those conversations. But watching this Texans football team, CJ Stroud kind of silenced a lot of criticizers. But here's the thing for me. When are we going to put Justin Herbert in the Dak Prescott category? Everybody wants to put that energy on Dak Prescott when he does not play well. It's been very silent since the golden boy, Justin Herbert. Now, Herbert helped me win a fantasy football championship. I'm not going to bury him too much because I did have my benefits from him. But if I'd have been playing in the championship game this past weekend, I would have lost because my man went out there and threw 4 interceptions. Now, we can look at him and everybody still believes that he's the golden child. And continue to think that if you want to. But he has shown to me that he is just another quarterback when the game is on the line. 4 interceptions as a starting quarterback on a team that 9 times out of 10, that's not who they are in the first place. But I'm confused about when we're going to change the energy and look at him and say, well, this ain't going to work. This is not going to work for me. So I will be paying attention to this and seeing how the narrative changes for him in those particular moments. But I want you to hear from CJ Stroud. I want you to hear from who's my other quarterback? Oh, DeMeco Ryans. And I want you to hear from Rex Ryan because there's a story that's out there right now that Vrabel has now been named the head coach of the Patriots. But right now, I want you to hear from CJ Stroud talking about his team and the Texans in the postgame.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, all glory has to go to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. But I feel so unqualified, but the Lord has qualified me to play in this great city, this great state. So, man, I'm just so grateful for who I serve, man. But yeah, it didn't start off great, but it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. We got a spark going into the half, had a 99-yard drive. And then, we kept going from there. Our defense played great. Special teams showed up. So, really complimentary football all the way around. So, really just Texan brand of football.
Derek, Justin Herbert had just 3 interceptions coming into this game. You guys picked him off 4 times. You did it twice. How'd you do it?
Just playing together as a unit. That's it. Talking, out there playing fast, all that. So, yeah.
What's gotten into this team? Because the last time you were on this field, it didn't go the way you wanted against the Baltimore Ravens. What are you taking the divisional round?
Well, just trusting ourselves. It's not about what everybody else say. It's not about the outside noise. It's about who we think we are and the work we put in. We had probably the best we could practice this week. We put on pads and everything, so we grinded it out. And so, when you do the work in the week, you give a chance to play really well. So, and having a full week was nice, But, we don't look at the past. We learn from it. Every L is a lesson. It's only a loss if you look at it that way. So the Baltimore loss made us better.
Derek, what do we need to know about this defense, man? Give us a sense of this group.
We're just gonna run to the ball. Plays happen when you play hard, play fast. So, that's what we're gonna do every snap.
It's fun to watch.
C.J. Stroud and Derek Stingley Jr. being able to go out there, but it wasn't just those two guys. Jim Harbaugh was talking about this after the game, and he was talking about the fact that defensive end Danielle Hunter was the one that was causing all the havoc. And as a matter of fact, he was almost speechless.
The edge pressure, those are really the best we've seen. That was the pressure on the edge. The pass rush was outstanding.
Yeah, pass rush was outstanding. My man didn't know what to say it, how to present it. It was just it was amazing to me when you start to look at who they are, who the Texans are. They're an up and down football team, but they have won their division 2 years in a row. They've made it into the playoffs. They do the things that they're supposed to do, but sometimes they don't show up every single game. Sometimes they are confused and they are confusing to watch. And just remember, just a few years, just a couple seasons ago, everyone was done with them. They didn't want no smoke from them. They were like, this team, this organization. And then you bring in DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans comes in. He changes the attitude. He changes the approach. He changes the thought process. He changes the way that this team carries themselves. And now they are headed to the divisional round to take on the Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. And now they are having that opportunity to have another chance to avenge. Because remember, the last time they were at Arrowhead, I believe they jumped out to a 24-point lead, and Kansas City came back and destroyed them and destroyed their hopes. And I think that is when everything had fallen apart for Houston and Deshaun Watson, because that was the game that they were so far ahead, and then all of a sudden things changed. Interesting times for sure. I also wanted to bring this up. I brought it up just a second ago. It was more about what is happening in the NFL. Mike Vrabel has been named, or supposed to be named, the head coach of the New England Patriots. Now, a lot of folks are upset about this. A lot of folks are upset because if that was the case and if that is what you wanted, why didn't you go after Vrabel after he was let go last season? Why is it that you have what's your coach's name that just got fired? Okay, yeah, Belichick's your guy. You get Mayo, Gerard Mayo. Here he is becoming the head coach one season. And then now you decided, well, that's enough. You didn't give him everything that he needed. You didn't have the support staff. But now you're going to go to another Patriot who was his teammate to come in and take over the reins. Look, I think Vrabel's a great coach. He's going to bring in a lot of attitude. He's going to do some different things. But is he going to be under the same restraints as Gerard Mayo? No, we already know that. But here's what Rex Ryan, who has been basically begging to be the New York Jets head coach, he is out here petitioning for himself. This is what he said when he found out Vrabel was going to be the head coach.
The coach of the year in 2021. He's 49 years old, will be 50 when next season begins. Rex, what's your reaction?
Hey, man, hopefully I get to kick this guy's ass twice a year. I don't know what to say about it. Just kidding, them Jets, huh? I'm just kidding, buddy.
maybe your team.
Yeah, not my team, yes, but not me personally.
Mike Vrabel is
It's just unbelievable that Rex Ryan is already thinking there that he is already going to be that guy. When we come back, we're going to continue the NFL conversation. Let's look at this Ravens football team. Are they the favorite now to win the Super Bowl? We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show with Craig Way.
Tex Schramm, you'd hear him on with Brad Sham when we had the show and I was the producer for it, called Ask Tex Schramm. This was like 1987. The football Cardinals were moving to Arizona. Brad Sham is doing the show. And so he asked him, he said, well, does that mean also now there'll be a change that the Atlanta Falcons would move from the NFC West to the NFC East? The Texas response was, well, once you're on an airplane, what difference does it make?
Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bills. That's Bills. Enter it now.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeartRadio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
We still have that accident reported on 35 Frontage Road, southbound East Runberg Lane. We also have another wreck, 71 westbound at 183. And we have a 14-minute delay, 290 eastbound from William Cannon to Mopac. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies, offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code radio for an extra 5% off.
50 years in the Lone Star State, a one-stop shop so you're never late. Price is so low that you want to know
Which way to Specs?
Come on, let's go.
Specs Wine Spirits and Finer Foods. World-class service, that's all about you.
Shop Specs, it's how we do. A huge selection since 62. Shop Specs, low price, amazing. Here's to you.
Shout.
Cheers to savings.
88 unread emails? Okay. New credit card? Delete. Congratulations, you've just won. Goodbye. COVID-19 news and delete. Wait, learn about treatment options for COVID-19. No and go. Okay, kind of catchy. Know that oral prescription treatment options are available for COVID-19 if you're at high risk. And go see your doctor if you experience symptoms or test positive. And forwarding that to mom.
Talk to your pharmacist or doctor if you or a loved one gets COVID-19. Know and go. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Yvonne Nava with KView. Want to stay updated on the local stories that matter to you? Download KView Plus and get breaking news, weather updates, and newscasts on demand. Free on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Start streaming today.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com. In what beige, flavorless world could we ever rank the most popular game day foods without the bold flavor of the original Louisiana brand hot sauce? There's a rich food tradition in Louisiana, bringing bold, peppery flavor with just the right amount of heat. Anyone with a mouth would list the most popular game day foods as anything with that hit of peppers from the original Louisiana brand hot sauce. The game day flavor changer and perfect for self-appointed yet extremely knowledgeable flavor experts at every game day party. Yes, flavor favors the bold.
Take the guesswork out of buying and selling your home with Orchard. Will your home sell in time? Which upgrades are worth it? Can you keep your home show ready With your busy life, Orchard has all the answers. With Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program, you can buy your new home before selling the old one. It's simple. Orchard gives you the equity advance, unlocking cash to buy your new home first. That's right. You don't have to wait for your old place to sell. You can move in right away. No more rushing out for showings and constant cleaning because Orchard sells your home after you get settled into your new home. Orchard even handles repairs and improvements at no out-of-pocket cost to you. Their local pros know which upgrades bring you the most money. So sell your home for top dollar. Buy before you sell and skip the selling hassles at Orchard. Start with your free home evaluation at orchard.com. That's orchard.com.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone presents the Craig Way Show. Join Craig Way weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. only on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. Want to give a shout out to the Cotton Bowl, making sure that we got backpacks, and it's pretty good. I like the backpacks, and everybody in my family is like, another backpack? Yeah, another backpack for you, boy. So we were talking to her before we went to break about the NFL and are the Ravens looking like the team that is the Super Bowl favorite. Right now, the odds are still the same. There's just some people that fell off, teams that lost yesterday, like the Chargers. They're no longer on the board. So it's the Detroit Lions are the favorite right now at plus 310. And this is from mybookie.com. Then you have the Kansas City Chiefs. You have the Philadelphia Eagles, Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills, Minnesota Vikings, Washington Commanders, Los Angeles Rams, and the Houston Texans round out the backside of this. But let's get back to the Ravens, because the Ravens showcase the MVP and the possible MVP runner-up in the Jackson Derrick Henry law firm that was in full effect this past weekend. Lamar opened the game up with 5 straight runs and was very, very consistent with the things that he was doing. And then the Steelers defense, they were up against the wall the entire time. They could not stop that two-headed monster that we love to call Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Both of those guys went out and had great ball games. This was probably the best passing game in the playoffs. He only threw for 175 yards, but he was accurate with every one of those passes. Then you look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's numbers on the ground. He was very consistent. He was the second leading rusher behind Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry ran for 186 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Lamar Jackson ran for 81 yards. But the problem on the other side is the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've had this conversation multiple times about the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's great that Mike Tomlin continues to win and doesn't have a losing record. It's great that he's had a moment in time to where everybody was happy with what they saw from him. But is that enough now, folks? Is that where we are? Because I was one that was pounding the table for him as well. I'm like, this dude has never lost. He's never had a losing season. But now has he become just that guy that we know, all right, he's good. They're going to win. They're going to be consistent. They're going to get in the playoffs. They're going to lose the first round. He's a Super Bowl champion. Yeah, I know. But what in this league of what have you done for me lately? What has he done for you lately? I know the ladies like to look at him. That's cool. But you're trying to get to the Super Bowl. The ultimate reason why you do this. The standard is what he always yells. Is the standard just being above 500 and being able to make it into the playoffs to say that you got there? Was that Russell Wilson's last game? By the way, Russ did not play bad. He was 20 of 29 for 270 and 2 TDs. Where is everybody else in this? George Pickens still complaining about everything. He's a problem. Why does he keep being enabled by Tomlin? Najee Harris, no running game. Warren, no running game. Offensive line, nothing. Bad game planning. I don't know. Or is it that the Ravens are just that good? But there is a question that's being posed, and I'm not a big fan of Terry Bradshaw. He's just kind of that goofball. But Jimmy Johnson said something that I thought was pretty interesting when he talked about a possible swap, a trade for two coaches.
Houston, I can't get over the game last night when you saw the Baltimore Ravens beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers now lost 5 straight games. I mean, that's just unheard of. Defense was horrible. Couldn't stop the run. Couldn't stop the pass. Couldn't do anything right last night. And honestly, Jimmy, I'd have to go to you. You can't lose playoff games. This doesn't look anything like the Steelers teams we've seen.
Yeah, Terry, now, I've got no inside information, but, you know, things are stale in Pittsburgh. Things are stale in Dallas. And just food for thought. How about a coaching swap? Mike McCarthy's a Pittsburgh guy. Let him go to Pittsburgh. Let Mike Tomlin go to Dallas. Both franchises would be excited.
But then the only problem is, I mean, you said they're both stale, but one continues to make the playoffs and the other one doesn't. That's not stale.
Hey, I'll tell you,
one's having more success.
You heard it. One makes the playoffs, one does not. But does that change the way that you view certain things? I don't know. But it is an interesting take because I've heard multiple times that people are talking about trading for Mike Tomlin. But what does that do for you? What is that going to do? And I'm not trying to hate on Tomlin. Like I said, I was pounding the table for a long time, but you got to get back to the championship, don't you? You got to at least play for the AFC championship because when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, what they've been able to do, you look at the Baltimore Ravens, you look at the Buffalo Bills with their situation, those are the teams that are always in the mix. Those are the ones that are always playing for it. So it's real interesting to see how that happens. But the Ravens move on over the Pittsburgh Steelers, 28-14. Well, the games kicked off yesterday. The Denver Broncos, Bo Nix had a great start converting on a long third down and then hitting the 43-yard touchdown pass to Franklin deep. But then the Bills answered with the field goal and never looked back. They never looked back. They scored 31 straight points with no answer. James Cook handling his business, Josh doing his thing, Josh Allen doing his thing. But their team in defense played outstanding. 31 straight points. Bo Nix, everybody was like, oh, Bo Nix. Yeah, that got shut down real quick. Josh Allen, 272, 2 touchdowns. I was a little disappointed. Josh was standing in the pocket a little bit too long. I thought he was going to try to run. He never really ran. He ran enough, but there were times where I needed him to score a touchdown in case you was wondering why I needed to do that. But I was just saying those were the things. So they look good. Denver looked well, but Josh, it was making play after play. The Bills handled their business in all phases of the game, which was pretty refreshing to see because now they get another opportunity. Now this is the 2 MVP matchups, right? The 3 MVP candidates. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. That is going to be the game to see because it is going to be a slobber knocker. And the thing that really bothers me, not really bothers me, the thing about it is that game will be played in Buffalo. So if it's going to be cold, it's going to be windy. This is one of those games that we're about to see what Derrick Henry, he was brought in specifically for this moment. So next week, Buffalo versus Baltimore, exciting time. In the Philadelphia versus Green Bay game, another person that we need to start talking about is Jordan Love. Jordan Love did not look sharp. He looked ineffective, and I know. He had a bad elbow. There was a bad situation with him. Doesn't matter. He's got to be able to perform. Josh Jacobs was doing his thing. He tried. Jalen Hurts only threw for 131 yards in his first game back. But guess what? The other MVP, Saquon Barkley, handled his business rushing for 119 yards. But here's the game of the night. The Commanders over the Buccaneers. Jaden Daniels is him, folks. He is him. 4 straight come-from-behind victories led by that man. 268 yards, 36 yards on the ground, and a game-winning touchdown drive. Baker Mayfield, yep, well, I thought you was going to get there. I thought this was going to be your time to shine. They had a game plan for you. Another coach, Todd Bowles. Are we just going to say that's what Todd Bowles is? I'll get you to the playoffs, but after that, I'm not going to be able to do anything else. He's another one of those guys that is on that conversation of which coach can get him over the hot seat. Get him over the hump. Here's the thing for me. You can go out, you could try to go get another coach, but it's like anything else. You're going to have to deal with the consequences of your actions if your team does not play well. We'll continue the conversation. When we come back, you know what time it is. It's the world's strongest man bringing you the world's strongest take, but it's not him. It's going to be me right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeartRadio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
We have a brand new crash, 35 southbound at Howard Lane, blocking the right lane, about a 2-minute delay in the area. We still have that accident reported at 71 westbound at US 183. And we have a 10-minute delay from 290 eastbound from William Cannon down to Mopac. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Yep, it's a win-win. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not thinking about radio? Think again. Because more people are listening to the radio on iHeart today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeart Broadcast Radio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, social, any other media, even twice as many teens than TikTok. Think radio can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, podcasting, and radio. Call 844-844-iHeart to get started. That's 844-844-iHeart.
Bigger than ever. The Factory Mattress Year-End Clearance Sales Event. Save an additional 20% off factory direct prices on select mattresses. Plus, save over $700 on queen luxury pillow tops. Now only $588. Act now. Buy one, get one free mattresses. The Factory Mattress Year-End Clearance Event. Save up to $500 off Tempur-Pedic adjustable sets. It's the Year-End Clearance Event. Going on now at Factory Mattress.
That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable. Ah.
Using a Clorox disinfecting wipe to clean that stuck-on sauce from the stove feels like...
Oh, boy. It tickles. Stop.
It feels like coming home to your needy corgi after a long day.
Best part of the day, finally.
With Clorox. Clean feels carefree. Clean feels good. Use as directed.
Ready to roll into the new year with a brand new ride? Skip the hassle and hidden fees with the other guys. Get a real deal at Steele, Hyundai, and Kyle. Like $7,000 off MSRP on all 2024 Palisades, Sonata Limiteds, and Santa Cruz Limiteds. Steele's unparalleled lineup of vehicles are backed by America's Best Warranty with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty and owner's assurance. SteeleHyundaiKyle.com.
With your busy schedule, there's no way you have time for all those complicated fantasy lineups. But there is time to win up to 2,000 times your money on Better Picks. With Better Picks, you can jump in fast and pick more or less on your favorite player's stats for a chance to win up to 2,000 times your cash, all in the time it takes to listen to this commercial.
Pick, tap, and win. That's it. Others might stop at 100 times payouts, but with Better Picks, your winnings can soar up to 2,000 times payouts. Turn that $10 bill in your glove box into $20,000 right now. That's real excitement.
So don't forget, if it's game day, it's a Better Picks day. Crank up the excitement with Better Picks and play for huge cash payouts. Go to betterpicks.com, BETRpicks.com, or download Better on the app or Play Store and use promo code RADIO to play for up to 2,000 times your cash. Plus, new users get up to a $200 match on their first deposit. It's simply better with Better Picks.
Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned with your play? Call the NCPG at 1-800-522-4700.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Mostly sunny, just a few clouds today. Highs in the mid-50s. Back to the mid-30s tonight. 60 for a high tomorrow.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates, all from one place. And Indeed's interview tool lets you schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from their website. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hey, it's Bobby Bones. Join me and former NFL quarterback Matt Castle for our new podcast, Lots to Say with Bobby Bones and Matt Castle. Between us, we have over 17,500 passing yards, multiple New York Times bestsellers, and 1 Mirrorball trophy from Dancing with the Stars. So where else are you going to find a show with that much athleticism and football insight? Listen to Lots to Say with Bobby Bones and Matt Castle on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart.
Open your free iHeart app and search Lots to Say with Bobby Bones and Matt Castle and start listening.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em horns.
Well, you heard that beat drop, and unfortunately, my man is not feeling well. But hey, that don't mean we can't come in here and have the world's strongest take. I'm not the world's strongest man, but I do hang out with them, and I did stay at a Holiday Inn at some point in my life. I want to get into this conversation because it's been on my heart the entire season. I still don't understand the vitriol that we've had. Not we, some people have had for one Quinn Ewers. There's been so many conversations about this young man. So much has been in the conversation about what he is and what he isn't. Mike Barnes, who was one of the best sports reporters here in Austin, Texas for quite some time, he put a list together of the winningest UT quarterbacks since DKR arrived in 1957. The top of the list is Colt McCoy. He was 45-8. VY is the ultimate of all ultimates. I mean, he's a national champion. Colt got him to the national championship game. But he is 30-2. Sam Ehlinger, 27-16. Everybody loses their mind. They love them some Sam, and he's a true Longhorn. Chris Sims, 26-6. Marty Akins, 25-9. Peter Gardier, the only quarterback to beat Oklahoma 4 straight times, 25-16. My man James Brown, 25-13-1. And the reason why I keep listing it like this is because Quinn Ewers was 27-9 at the University of Texas. He came in with this bravado about him. Everybody was thinking he was going to be the savior. I get it. But he did save this program. He's turned this program around. And yes, the foundation has now been set for you to want to have an Arch Manning. Oh, it's his time. It's his time. Yeah, it now is officially his time. But I want you to hear from Coach Sark and what he had to say about his time with Quinn Ewers and why he is the man that he is.
I'm super proud of Quinn, and he's taught me a lot, probably unknowingly to him, because what he went through every year dealing with injury, What he goes through, where I don't know if he'd ever live up to the standards of what everybody thinks he's supposed to be. But at the end of the day, all he did was show up every day and work and be a great leader and be a great teammate. And that's a real credit to him, because human nature in this day and age is to look at Twitter, to look at Instagram, to look at social media and articles written in fan boards and whatever else. And you can ride that emotional roller coaster of whatever you think public opinion could be. And that could be the opinion of 1 or 100 or whatever. But this guy never did that. All he did was come to work every day. All he did was be a great teammate. All he did was work on his craft, get himself as healthy as he could when he was injured, and then show up. And when it was time to show up, and maybe outside of the first 2 games, I don't think he played a game this year 100% healthy. And he fought through everything, never complained about it one time. And I think that's why he has so much respect from his teammates.
And now you understand. But it's not only him. Other people have talked about what Quinn means to this program. Other players have stepped up, fought for him. Jahdae Barron, first roommate, kicking it, ride together, bad boys for life. That is how they roll, and they will always roll like that. But you also had my guy, Anthony Hill Jr., who is going to be a menace when it comes to this football thing. He also had to defend Quinn Ewers, and he had something to say to all of them.
He's the leader of this football team. So if you hating on him, I mean, you're pretty much hating on the whole University of Texas. So I feel like it's pretty disrespectful for a guy that goes out and practices hard and plays through injuries and all that, for y'all to just kind of disrespect him.
So my whole story is this. You don't have to overhype it. You don't have to be the biggest Quinn Ewers fan. But what I'm asking you to do is please appreciate what you saw. For a long time, this university struggled at the quarterback position. That list continued with a lot of other guys that have had their ups and downs at the University of Texas. But a lot of folks didn't have to deal with all the animosity. Hell, Major was 22-8. And everybody loved him some Major Applewhite. But Texas went to back-to-back college football playoffs. They were one play away, again, from having an opportunity to possibly punch that play in and get a chance to go to the national championship game. I just encourage people to quit being so spoiled. I want you to be aggressive. I want you to not be satisfied with coming up short. But let's not forget where we were just a few short years before this young man came back to Texas, because originally he committed there, went to Ohio State, then came back. And now he's going to get his opportunity to go play again, whether it's here, whether it's at in the NFL, or it's another school. The bottom line is this: appreciate what you had, folks, because it was bad for a real long time. So Quinn Ewers, I appreciate what you was able to do at this university. I hope that you have so much more appreciation where you go. But I saw a lot of people saying thank you for what you did, and I wanted to make sure that I said thank you as well. And that's the world's strong. Well, not even going to go to world's strongest take. Harbaugh bringing you his take on Quinn Ewers, the final chapter, as now it seems like that book is closing. When we come back, we'll close out the show and send you to Dan Patrick right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Up this Texas team. I think Quinn Ewers has had a divisive career, and people will remember him one of two ways. I think he should be honored for what he did for Texas. Texas is back because of Quinn Ewers. 12 wins last year, a semifinal berth. 13 wins this year, a semifinal berth. The 13 seasons previous, they won more than 8 games twice. Texas was not Texas until Quinn Ewers brought them back. So they didn't take the step that they all wanted. Remembered in Austin. Yeah.
like
Texas
that.
is back because of that.
The Craig Way Show, weekdays at 2.
Listen to the Bama Brown Experience on the free iHeartRadio app or at BamaBrownPodcast.com.
We have a brand new crash, 35 southbound at Howard Lane, blocking the right lane, about a 2-minute delay in the area. We still have that accident reported at 71 westbound at US 183. And we have a 10-minute delay from 290 eastbound from William Cannon down to Mopac. I'm Alan Craig with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Randall's.
Flu season is here and Randall's has got you covered. The Randall's in-store pharmacy is offering free flu vaccines with most insurance plans. Plus, get 10% off your groceries when you get an immunization at Randall's. Go to randalls.com or check out the app for more details.
Hardball Harge here, and I want to talk to you about the NFL playoff action this past weekend. It was high going and high scoring. But of course, the action can get even sweeter because at DraftKings Pick 6, it gives you a chance to turn a little cash into a lot of cash. This week's DraftKings Pick 6 players for me is going to be Jordan Addison of the Vikings and Cooper Kupp of the Rams. I'm going with Addison to get over 58.5 yards receiving because he is Sam Darnold's safety net. And I really like Cooper Kupp to get over 48.5 yards because Stafford will get the ball to him. And if you haven't checked out DraftKings' new Pick 6 app, now is the perfect time for you to do it because guess what? It's legal in the state of Texas and it's super easy to get started. All you got to do is just download the DraftKings Pick 6 app, select 2 or more players, and choose if they'll have more or less of a stat. You know, whether receiving yards, like I picked, or touchdowns. And the best part of it, DraftKings is making it even sweeter for first-time users. New Pick 6 players deposit $5 and you'll receive $50 in DraftKings Pick 6 credits. But to take advantage of this offer, be sure to use the promo code SPOTLIGHT. That's the promo code SPOTLIGHT for a chance to get that offer. You can win more cash on Pick 6. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app. Use the promo code SPOTLIGHT. That's code SPOTLIGHT for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Only on DraftKings Pick 6. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 30 days. Limited offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
What if you could unlock over $1 million in personal and business credit? That's exactly what Ray Reynolds can do for you. I'm talking about protecting your family and building your business with $100,000 in personal or business cash credit. And Ray can help you rebuild your credit score to 750. Ray Reynolds isn't just any expert. He helped the security chief of TRW that became Experian, one of the most trusted credit bureaus. If you're looking to get your finances on track, Ray is the man you should call for a 750 credit score. Call Ray at 800-427-5991. 800-427-5991. Join his live webinars and attend his weekly workshops to learn the insider strategies for hitting your personal and business goals. Ready for a 750 credit score and your first $100,000 in credit? Call Ray Reynolds now at 800-427-5991. That's 800-427-5991.
There's no better place to buy your new Chevy than Hanna Chevrolet. Right now, we have the biggest discounts in the last 5 years. Plus, 0 for 60 months is available on a large selection of vehicles. As an Austin original since 1936, Hanna Chevrolet has been treating customers right and saving them some serious money. For straightforward, all-inclusive pricing, together let's drive at Hanna Chevrolet or at Hanna.com.
Hanna Chevrolet, we'll always stand by you.
It's just like my car radio on my phone.
Adding presets is so much fun.
Join the millions already on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
Seeing lyrics in the app is incredible.
It's so easy to use.
Nice job, iHeart.
Find out what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again. Because more people are listening to the radio on iHeart today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeart Broadcast Radio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, social, any other media, even twice as many teens than TikTok. Think radio can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, podcasting, and radio. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com. Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. So whatever your customers listen to, they'll hear your message. Plus, only iHeart can extend your message to audiences across broadcast radio. Think podcasting can help your business? Think iHeart. Streaming, radio, and podcasting. Let us show you at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. We cover all 40 acres.
Welcome back to the final segment of the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300. As we talked about all show long, we've talked about the ups and downs of the Texas football season. A lot of highs. I can just say that about this Texas football season. But tonight, we've got NFL action. And I want to continue this conversation because there's so much that has been talked about in the NFL. I talked about it earlier in the show at the top of the hour. I wanted to talk a little bit more about it here. This has to be the biggest game in Sam Darnold's career. First off, the game has obviously been moved from LA to now playing it in Arizona. But Sam Darnold is in a position right now that this is the game of his life that he has. Now, I know you can sit there and say, oh, don't be so hyperbolic, Mike, and then you're thinking that this is what it is. But it truly is a big stepping moment for a Sam Darnold. And the reason why I say that is because J.J. McCarthy is the starting quarterback. He's going to be the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. Now, is he going to take that step in front of Sam Darnold, who will probably be the comeback player of the year? He'll be the inspirational story of all to talk about. But here's the reality. You made an investment to grab a first-round pick in J.J. McCarthy. He was announced to be the starter this past season. He ends up getting hurt. Sam Darnold comes out and has one of the most unbelievable seasons that we can think of. He's got a team of 14-3 and playing in the wild card matchup. They were one game away from being the #1 overall seed with 14 wins. But here's the biggest thing. Are you willing to make the investment? Now, there's a lot of teams that will be looking at this game and watching this game and seeing how he handles the pressure of playing in the playoffs, seeing how he handles playing against the LA Ram team that a lot of folks think are sneaky good. And I might be one of those people. I might dabble in this a little bit tonight. But Sam Darnold is playing for bigger than just Minnesota. When you take a look at his numbers, he threw for 4,300 yards this year. 4,300 yards. Think about that. For him, that's amazing. Not only did he throw for 4,300 yards, he threw 35 touchdowns. Now, next season, he'll be going into his 8th season. There's a lot of teams that are looking at quarterbacks to try to figure out if they're going to draft a quarterback in this upcoming draft. They're going to see how he performs. And this could be a huge payday for him if he goes out there and he plays well. But most importantly, will this be one of those seasons where two guys, Justin Jefferson and Sam Darnold, who had one hell of a connection. Justin Jefferson received 1,500 yards this year, big-time plays. As I've said, the Minnesota Vikings played at an elite level all season long. But does their season come crashing down tonight? Does the luster kind of fade off of what we thought when we saw Sam Darnold and what they were able to do? On the other side of the ball, as I said, this is a dark horse team in the LA Rams that look like they may have an opportunity to compete at a very, very high level. What is it about Matthew Stafford that has him ready to go in this big matchup? What is it about having a full complement of receivers? When you think about Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, you got Kyron Williams at running back. This is just as an explosive offense because you look across the field at both of these coaches, they're offensive-minded coaches. The defenses in this game have to play at an all-time high. They have to be on the level of understanding what's next. I love the fact that this is the final matchup of the weekend, the final matchup of Wild Card Weekend. The winner of this matchup will take on the Philadelphia Eagles. It's already been written because of what happened with Washington and Tampa, and now Washington will travel to Detroit. Think about that. Washington has made the Final Four in the NFC, and the Cowboys can't get out of their own way. As we talked about before, the Houston Texans will now travel to Kansas City. They will take on the Kansas City Chiefs this weekend starting at 3:30. And then, of course, the biggest matchup of all matchups, Buffalo versus Baltimore. Two MVP candidates. Who's going to be the winner to advance to play with a chance to get to the Super Bowl? Both of these teams really have something to prove, and they both need to try to get into the Super Bowl. It's been a crazy, crazy week. We've had a great run in the Texas football season, men's and women's basketball. We'll have Rodney Terry. We'll have audio from Rodney Terry tomorrow as he meets with the media on Zoom. Vic Schaefer, I'm sure, has a lot to say about his squad and how do you bounce back from what happened in South Carolina. But we just understand that is the standard in college basketball. You got to get to that level. But Monday Night Football, the final Monday Night Football game of the regular season. The following week, we will have the national championship game, Notre Dame taking on Ohio State. And then we're going to get back into basketball season. We're going to be into that conversation so much more. Really excited about what's next. Baseball season is right around the corner. We will have it all covered for you right here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. For an ill Mark Henry, for my guy Khalil, I am Mike Harbaugh Harge. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Have a good night, and we will talk about it again tomorrow, right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone.